I have learned today something very interesting related to the nature. I visited my neighbor in his garden. He's having phenomenal, huge garden full of flowers, fruits and vegetables. And I was gifted with opportunity to collect few apples. So yes, this week I will bake some apple pie. When it came to the part where we should collect the apples, how normally we do it, we just come into the tree and grab the apple, pull down, and we have it in our hands to the basket. Done. But as a courtesy, I thought it will be smart to ask the owner how it shall be done. And here is the lesson that I have learned. When it's not the apple you think it's big, a little bit reddish, it's the right time to pick it up. You gently grab the apple and lift it up a bit so the tail shall naturally, without using force, break from the branch of the tree. Without using force. Usually, when we pull, we use the force naturally. But the nature created this process very interestingly and brings to our mind a thoughtful reflection. Everything has its right time. This is my knowledge share with you for today. And what did you learn today? Did you hear maybe something interesting that would grab your attention? Or indeed, you have learned something within you? I invite you to the comments and share with us to inspire each other. Welcome to Monday Leadership Kickstart Insight. My aim with those videos is not to tell you how you should be to become a great leader, but I'm sharing various lessons based on leadership, but beyond the office, so that we can all together explore, expand our mindset, our understandings, how leadership can effectively be placed in our daily practice, even if we are not yet a leader. When we are talking about the challenges in leadership, quite often we will hear the voice, it's about weak strategy. Most leadership challenges do not necessarily come from the weak strategy, but from the clarity, how the message is established and how the message is shared. The title of today's episode is not without reason. I want to talk with you about literacy of expression. And today I want to ask you how literate you are in expressing your thoughts, your vision, your purpose. As leaders, we need to do the PR almost every day, on various levels, on various dimensions. How literate you are in expressing yourself to the team. I developed that term, literacy of expression, years back when I have developed an evaluation for the post trainings. I simply didn't like this standardized evaluations that eventually brought me answers. Yes, no, yes, no. People ask me, why do you want to know it? Why you want more? Well, evaluation is not about to feed my ego. Did they like my workshop or they didn't? For me, I wanted to know what is even their level of understanding what we were talking about. So I have developed an evaluation that I think had 90% of the content was requesting participants to do some writings, to share in narrative their experience from the session, what they have learned and what eventually they would like to learn more on the next following sessions. The questions were formulated in a very simple manner. Yet within the first return, I have noticed that people are having, quite interestingly, the problem with expressing themselves. There were no full sentences. The responses were not relevant to the question. So we can notice, we do not pay too much attention, we just want to write something. And how often it is when we are communicating, when we are discussing with someone, we just want to get rid of the words, our thoughts. The question is, are they clear? I want to share with you the 3 key elements which I find very important for improving literacy of expression, that not only leaders need, but we all. Number 1 will be conceptual knowledge. Having a knowledge is one thing, but when we are getting into the organization, there are many departments, there are different people. There is an organizational psychology that we need to be aware of. Outside workplace, we need to study about how the environment within the organization is creating the ecosystem and how eventually the structures are evolving, what kind of role you are playing. You cannot create the value without you knowing what kind of role you are playing, being really associated with the role that you do have, but how within your experience, within your knowledge, you can bring more value into it. Value that will be followed by the benefits for others, not only you, that you will add some great projects to your portfolio, but the impact that it will make on other people, including your leader. Leaders have leaders too, right? Quite often, we will bring that to a very narrowed idea. Leaders struggle with communication, but the communication is an outcome of the quality of knowledge we do have. So we do have a knowledge. Question is, how do we practice that knowledge? How we are implementing the knowledge into daily work with our teams, within our strategy, creating the vision. And conceptual knowledge will be how much we do know about surrounding us environment. So we will have the organization, how much we do know about them. Then eventually we can consider a strategy, our goals, what are the KPIs, what is the general vision. Then we are going down. What kind of departments we do have, what functions those departments have. Psychology, human beings. We are having them everywhere, and each of them will be very different, not only because of the name, but also the experience that they brought to the organization, that at that time you are working all together. We will have miscommunication, but the miscommunication will be due to the fact we are ignorant in terms of learning more about people with whom we are working. We are not asking questions, where does it come from? Where does this idea come from? Why you bring that subject to the table? How we can eventually to achieve? Why do you think we can do this way? Leaders are sometimes thinking that we know it all because we have a title, but we don't know all, and we do not need to hide it. I'm not saying that, we need to walk around and say, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. No. But we can use this diplomacy form and inviting people to share their ideas. And leaders is also responsible for that part to enable the scene for people to speak out. Conceptual knowledge is also reflecting the level how open your mind is. If we do have developed conceptual knowledge, we are much more capable to build the trust among the team, because the way how we are expressing ourselves is showing them that we know what we are talking about. Learning outside the standard norms will have an incredible impact on our conceptual knowledge. We will not see it, but we will notice that in the way how our process of thinking is developing. And what follows, how we are reacting to the situations, to the discussions, where eventually we are not agreeing with what is spoken about. 2. Communication is an outcome of your conceptual knowledge. The way how we are communicating is reflecting who we are here in mind and also in our heart. Because before you get the title of a leader, there is you standing, you as an individual. What kind of qualities you do have? If you are having the gaps in the communication in your private level, most probably there will be weakness within your professional level. So make sure that your communication as an outcome is having the right source to activate your process of thinking, to enrich your vocabulary, to enrich your knowledge, to start practicing your knowledge and to develop your conceptual knowledge. When we are refusing to use the knowledge in practice, somehow we are forgetting about the value of that knowledge. Automatically, it will have an impact on how we are thinking. And we think fast. Certain situation is happening and thoughts are coming immediately. Then there will be reactive decision making. If we are reacting in a stressful manner, like we start shouting, we start to be more aggressive to the people and pushing, creating the stress around us for others, it means we are driven by the bad ego. Limited thinking leads to limited expression. Limited expression is leading to limited leadership impact. And we want to have a big impact on people we work with, right? Part 3, leadership responsibility. It's the sole leader's responsibility to monitor how people are growing, not only within the long list of certificates and awards, but how they are developing themselves as individuals. Are they changing as a human being? Are they becoming a better version of themselves as an individual? All of them, not only those you favor in your team, all of them equally. It's our leaders' responsibility to make sure that they learn every day something from you, from surrounding your environment. And you need to bring that knowledge to them. You need to bring that experience to them. You cannot say they are adults, they are expected to know how to do it. You cannot be a leader with this kind of mindset. You cannot be a leader with this kind of expectations. Why are you leader then? To have a green on your KPI chart? Leadership is for people. Tasks are following. Without people, you cannot perform tasks. So take care of the people first. Let me invite you for the leadership in practice. It will be a bit outside the box, but this is how leadership brings the quality to people's life. Ask your team to write on one page about the leadership in their current role. They shall write about themselves and what kind of leadership qualities they are performing in their current role. What's the purpose? Use it as a mirror for you and them, for their expressing clarity and for their growth, because it will give you definitely a great idea where and how specific people can grow within your leadership approach. It's not about only you will send them for the certificated trainings. It's about what kind of attention you are giving to them and what kind of learnings you bring to them. I'm sure it will be a phenomenal exercise for you especially and for your team too. Leadership is about cultivating literacy in others. If we are limited in that quality, most probably we are also developing limited mind in our team. And when there is a limited mind, a limited opportunity for the communication, for the open, healthy communication, there will be more space for the negativity. And what does it bring? Judgment, critics, fear, no trust. That's not leadership. That's even not management. I shared with you exercise that you can practice with your team, and I do have also a challenge for you. Write same essay you have requested to your team for yourself. Write about the leadership in your current role. And then reflect. Are you expressing what truly matters, or it's more about passing information? I wish you a great, successful week ahead. Definitely connected in healthy communication with yourself and your team. Thank you very much for joining me, and see you next week.